Good morning, agents, and welcome to another daily episode of Target Loot today for October 11th, the series that shows you the Target Loot map, farming tips and tricks, vendor reset highlights, and much more. I'm Agent Shadow, and if you enjoy my content, please consider smashing the subscribe, like, and share buttons below. Also, in the pinned comment, there are links to join my Discord and clan, and links to support my channel, like becoming a member and merchandise. But you can hear more about that at the end of the video. Let's get started with the dark zones first and the highlights from the vendors, then DC, and finally New York City Target Loot highlights last. Alright agents, we're starting with DZ West. We do have Fenris as targeted loot, so you can farm for the Ferocious Calm chest piece, which is a DZ exclusive. It has perfect Overwatch on it. Also at the DZ vendor for DZ West, you can get the Rock and Roll shotgun with perfect extra. That is a fully automatic shotgun, and I actually have one. I bought one this week. Rolled 10% damage to targets out of cover on the third attribute. That thing rocks. It's a lot like the Showstopper. It basically is the Showstopper from the Division 1, a fully automatic shotgun with 30 rounds in it. Alright, over here in DZ South, we got Bellstone Armory as the targeted loot allocation for today. So that means you can get the Liquid Engineer with perfect Bloodsucker on it, which I have a build for. I'll put in the top right card. This is an awesome backpack that you definitely want to get. So for sure, I would jump into the Dark Zone today if you don't have a good enough Liquid Engineer that might have dropped from the Season 3 reward track or named item caches. Because that's where you get it. You get it from the Season 3 rewards and other caches or targeted loot rewards, but it never drops from an actual NPC. If it has, please send me a screenshot or let me know if it says looted under the talent. I've been talking to a lot of subscribers lately, and no one has been able to give me a Liquid Engineer that says looted at the very bottom as source of where you got it. Also in the DZ South vendor, you got the Rail Splitter with perfect accurate. That is another really good weapon that's a DZ exclusive that I highly recommend getting. And then over here in DZ East, you got gear sets. So of course that means you can get the System Corruption gear set, which I believe is still DZ exclusive. I can't remember if I've gotten some from Summit, but since it came out, it's always been a DZ exclusive. It's always worth it for the 2 pieces. You get a certain amount of armor on kill. I forget exactly how much. But remember, named items at the Dark Zone vendors cost 152 DZ resources. To get DZ resources, you have to deconstruct the loot in your contaminated bag and then extract that. Otherwise, you'll extract marked as junk loot and not the DZ resources themselves. Alright, let's go check out the North Side targeted loot highlights. Alright, agents, we're over here on the North Side targeted loot highlights. So Camp White Oak, we got Murakami. That's always great for that extra skill duration. And then, of course, Golong Gear and 511 at the Coney Island areas. Golong Gear is always great. One piece for 10% status effects. It goes great with a few different builds, especially the 4-piece Eclipse Protocol, which I have a build for. I'll put in the top right. And then Providence Defense at Manning National Zoo. You can get the Sacrifice with perfect glass cannon, or if you just need a better rolled Providence Defense piece for your DPS build, Manning National Zoo is full of bosses. It's a really long mission, so I would check it out and see if you can get something good on Heroic. Kenley College is open for one more day. And then Pistols at the Summit. This is bad targeted loot for today, but remember in TU 11.1, you are going to be able to choose your own private targeted loot. So that's going to be amazing, of course, and Summit's going to be a main area to farm for anything. And remember, that means you privately could farm for, say, Hunter's Fury gear set, while your other group members are farming for pistol targeted loot and Providence Defense targeted loot. It could all be separate. It all will be separate. Otherwise, if you want to farm pistols, I would look for the Mozambique Special with perfect breadbasket, or I would get a D50 so you can use that to craft the Liberty after doing the 3 missions quest line in a row. It's probably one of the fastest exotics you can grind out and craft for exotic components. Alright, let's go check out the West Side targeted loot highlights. Alright, agents, starting off with the West Side targeted loot highlights. I did want to get started with legendary loot, so we got Badger Tough at Roosevelt Island. You can get the 0F's chest piece with perfect unbreakable, or if you just need a god rolled piece, you can run that on legendary. We got Bellstone Armory at District Union Arena, so you could get the everyday carrier with perfectly efficient. And then, of course, Seska over here at Capitol Building. These are all 3 good targeted loots for running Legendary on to get the best maximum rolls you can get. But I just always farm on Heroic or Legendary Summit. Anyway, we also got Walker Harrison Co. at West End if you're looking for the Chain Killer Perfect Headhunter chest piece. And then, of course, the Matador can drop from targeted loot rewards, but it normally is a DZ exclusive. Assault rifles at Federal Emergency Bunker. You can get the Mechanical Animal with Future Perfection, the Maniac named Military AKM, the FAMAS named FAMAS Burnout. You can also get the Chameleon exotic or a top tier AR like the Military AKM, FAMAS, Carbine 7, Police M4, G36. Holsters at Bank HQ if you want the Imperial Dynasty, or the Forge holster, which gives you an extra skill tier to your shield health. Submachine guns at DCD headquarters, and I thought I saw them doubled somewhere else, but definitely submachine guns at DCD. So if you're looking for the Lady Death, today's actually a pretty good day. You can run that mission in less than 10 minutes solo, just back to back. Just run that for the Lady Death, refarming the Chatterbox. If you don't have that, I'll put a video in the top right if you need help with it. It's like 5 minutes long. Otherwise, you want a good Vector variant or an MPX. Those are the best SMGs in the game. The Dark Winter and the Apartment are DZ exclusives, but you can get the Swap Chain, and then, of course, the Safety Distance with Perfect Outsider on it, which Rogue Gold has an amazing build on that I would check out for sure. And then, of course, chest pieces at Foggy Bottom if you're looking for the tardigrade exotic chest piece. If you have the Ridgeway already and for some reason you want to farm it again, you could farm body armor. And then shotguns at Potomac Event Center, so you can get the new Mop with 10% armor on kill as the 3rd attribute. I always roll close and personal on that one. Or you can get the Sweet Dreams exotic shotgun, or the old shotguns that are still really good are the Marine Super 90 and the Custom M870. I also did forget to mention that for chest pieces, if someone else like myself who has the Ridgeway's Pride already, if say I'm farming with you and you don't have the Ridgeway's Pride exotic chest piece, it can drop for me in targeted loot, and then I can drop it for you. Once you get it, I believe you get the not the blueprint, but once you have it, you can go buy the blueprint after that and skip the project. So keep that in mind if you want to bypass the project. We got masks at Constitutional Hall, so that's Coyote's mask, Vile mask, and the Punch Drunk mask, which gives you 20% headshot damage baked into the 2nd attribute, I believe it is. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for the whole west side area, except for the last 2, which I'm going to point out, is BTSU gloves at the Tidal Basin. That's actually quite a long mission. I just did that solo with my Memento Hunter's Fury build yesterday. Very fun, lots of loot that drops running it on Heroic. It would be really easy to get the BTSU gloves on this mission. You can also farm for the Contractor's gloves, but I would farm Petrov over here at Air and Space. For BTSU gloves, they have a higher drop rate chance from Black Tusk, so I would farm here today for sure. And then lastly, LMGs at DARPA, so if you want the Bullet King or Pestilence exotic LMGs, or one of the named ones like the Carnage, the Sleipnir, which you can craft at the White House, or the Good Times with Perfect Fast Hands, New Reliable, or Quiet Roar. Alright guys, let's go check out the east side, but real quick, knee pads at White House, so Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads, Sawyer's knee pads, and Fox's Prayer knee pads. I always recommend running Overlord if you're gonna, look for Fox's Prayer knee pads for that 8% damage to targets out of cover. But if, Overlord isn't available, then farm knee pads for sure. Alright, let's go check out the east side. Alright, agents, we're over here on the east side, targeted loot highlights. So, we got gear sets at Downtown East. That's anything but System Corruption, which is a DZ exclusive. And then Foundry Bulwark and Future Initiative chest and backpack pieces, which are still exclusive to the Iron Horse raid. We got Grupo Sombro at Judiciary Square. You got 1 piece for DPS builds and 2 pieces for explosive skill damage builds. And speaking of explosive skill damage builds, comment below if you would like to see my brand new explosive skill build video. I'm thinking about making a build video on it. I'm having so much fun with this, so please comment below if you want to see a new, different type of explosive skill damage build for sure. Alright, Douglas and Harding at Federal Triangle. If you want the Punch Drunk mask, this is where you want to farm, not mask, because that will narrow it down to just the Punch Drunk mask. We got Petrov at Air and Space. This is where I would farm for Contractor's Gloves, which gives you 8% damage to armor. And then knee pads, double targeted loot over here at Jefferson Plaza. Rifles at Space Admin. You can get the Diamondback and Merciless exotic rifles. Or, of course, the classic M1A, the meta rifle. You can put in sync on it if you're running a skill build. Otherwise, if you're doing DPS, the best damage talents are Boomerang, Ranger, or Rifleman. And of course, you can get the Baker's Dozen, especially if you're on console or you just like having those extra missed shots not actually be missed shots. And then Hana U at East Mall. You got 4 control points here to farm for a good piece of Hana U, or for the Force Multiplier backpack with perfect combined arms. That gives you 30% additional skill damage every 3 seconds that you hit an NPC. You can just keep that stacked almost always in the battlefield. And then if you run it Viewpoint Museum on Heroic today, you can probably get a good 12% or, crit hit damage mod or 6% crit hit chance mod. Just a God rolled mod, I would run it on Heroic. Nothing below Heroic. Only Heroic or Legendary if you're trying to find those God rolled gear system mods. And then lastly, MMRs in American History Museum. You can get the Elk's Long Stick with Perfect Ranger or the White Death. Those are the best MMRs in the game. Or you can farm for the Mantis exotic MMR. The Nemesis is still something you have to do the quest for, but if you have a friend or a random match-made person, get the Nemesis to drop for them, they could give it to you and you can bypass the quest just like the Ridgeway. Alright, let's go check out the targeted loot in New York City and then I'll let you guys go. Alright, agents, we're over here in New York City. So, first off, we got Overlord at Civic Center. So, if you wanted those Fox's Pair knee pads with 8% damage to targets out of cover, this is where I would farm. You also get the chance farming in open world NYC bosses to get the Lady Death to drop. And remember, that 8% damage to targets out of cover is multiplicative damage, which is the best damage in the game. It's better than additive, obviously. And of course, if you pair it with 10% damage to targets out of cover from your weapon, it is just a monster amount of damage compared to just having more crit hit damage. We got doubles for Petrov and Grupo and 511. We do have Araldo holdings, which is perfect for headshot builds. So I usually run 3 aces and 8s, 2 Aralda, and I usually run an Araldo holdings backpack with Vigilance or Composure, and then the perfect Headhunter Chain Killer chest piece, which is Walker Harrison Co., and then run that with the Mantis for insane headshot damage. We got Sokolov at Battery Park. Any SMG builds, like the last 3 I've put out, you always want to have at least 1 piece of Sokolov, all the way up to 3. And then lastly, Alp Summit at Wall Street. You can get a chance for the Bullet King to drop from the boss at the end. And of course, you can get the Percussive Maintenance with Perfect Tech Support, or I recommend a chest piece with Empathetic Resolve, repair skills, and skill haste rolled onto that chest piece. Alright, agents, well that was the targeted loot for today. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed my content. Shout out to my legendary channel members Heaven High, Silverback, Muhammad Ali, and Incognito Cybersecurity. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. If you would also like to become a member, click the join button below to further support my dream of being a full-time content creator, or you can grab some awesome new Shadow Gaming merchandise. I just put up a bunch of new stuff on my listing, all sorts of things you can buy on my merchandise store, or you can join me on Alt Tech by supporting Alt Tech by helping me on Patreon or Subscribestar. All the links are in the pinned comment and video description of every video I make. Anyway, if you're still watching this video right now to the end, thank you. That is truly the best way to support me. And whitelist me on your ad blocker, which is super simple, and I do this for all content creators I enjoy. Anyway, take care, agents, and be sure to stay tuned for more daily, dedicated Division 2 content. This is Agent Shadow signing off. I will see you in the next video. Take care, agents.